morning to our listeners.
Good morning, you're welcome.
It's a new dawn, and let's hope it brings the best for Nigeria.
That's right. Talking about that new dawn, it's time to look at this speech which was promised to bring this new dawn. All right, let's begin the conversation. Ambrose, I suppose you've seen this speech. I guess you have, and we'll look at several areas. Besides the many, promises made in the speech, there's an outline of what the plan of the Tinubu administration is and what they're going to do exactly, from the economy to security to health to infrastructure and all of that. There are those who have said, and this is where I think we should begin, who have said, well, this speech is not so inspiring. You expected something, exceptionally inspiring from, Barack Tinubu, considering the nature of the polity right now, the atmosphere right now. So, what's your take on this? Do you think this is inspiring enough? This is just there? How do you assess this speech?
New presidents and the new political office holders try to use their inaugural speech to make solid marks, to make statements that will stand the test of time. They make statements that will be quotable in political analysis for a long time to come. So they do take their time to get powerful speechwriters to be able to carve out their thoughts, so that they will leave indelible marks in the sand of time. I didn't see that spark yesterday in the speech, but that is not what inaugural speeches are all about anyway. It's about laying out of policies. Apart from one or two policy statements that were made yesterday, there were not much. But again, there shouldn't be hastiness in making policy statements. Even the subsidy statement removal that was made yesterday, I think was too hasty. Because, for example, when you talk about the subsidy issue, I don't know how much information the government has, the new government has, in terms of what is the actual subsidy payments for Nigeria, in terms of fuel. Because it has been established over the years, even by the preceding governments, that the subsidy was full of scam, was full of a lot of corruption. So first of all, what I expected the government to do is to constitute a panel that will be given like a 2 weeks ultimatum, made up of high-level chartered accountants, auditing firms, and international firms like Deloitte, KPMG, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Accenture, and all those powerful, international groups to look into the subsidy intensively, work day and night, and give us an audit of the first subsidy that has happened from maybe in 10 years, maybe from 2013 to 2023. And then from there, the government could be able to now ascertain what is actually subsidy we are paying. So that from there we will be able to now decipher from that substance.
Ambrose Igboke, please just hold your thoughts for me. Let's go on a very short break, pay the bills, and we'll be back in a moment.
Extra confidence to light up the room. That's why I'm deliberate about how I nourish my skin. I use a soap made with the right natural ingredients.
A soap? Which one?
A soap that contains shea butter and aloe vera, turmeric and honey for a glowing skin.
Experience the new Joy Black Soap, made with over 7 natural ingredients that moisturize, restore and repair your skin, giving you the confidence to be who you love to be. Joy, beauty my way.
When you listen to this station, you learn about your rights. You discover the law in ways you never imagined. You know why? Because we broadcast in your interest.
It's a problem that we are all experiencing in the country. Different parts of the country, the same thing is happening. So who do we call on to? Who do we hold responsible?
We impact knowledge.
If the grid is unable to shed the load that it ought to, it could also result in the collapse of the national grid.
Call it what you may, but we are here to stay. The law was never biased, so why should it be now? To every individual, we are Law FM 103.9.
There are no internal electricity boards.
Indeed, we are Law FM 103.9, the station for knowledge and entertainment. Thanks indeed for staying tuned. This is the Law FM morning show. It's 56 minutes past 9, and we're talking with, at the moment, Ambrose Igboke. Ambrose Igboke is the Enugu State's chairman of the Guild of Public Affairs Analysts. Yes, and he's talking to us about the inaugural speech of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that happened yesterday. It's the one of the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And yesterday he gave a speech. Some consider that inspiring, others maybe not so inspiring. But let's talk about that even some more. Numbers, we're just talking about all of the some of the areas, and you mentioned particularly fuel subsidy and what you think should have been done first. But it's interesting that you mentioned fuel subsidy, and maybe that's a fine place to begin as we examine this inaugural speech. And I say that because is it okay? And do you share the sentiment of those who say that this administration, as that of the former President Muhammadu Buhari, should give some credit and maybe apologize to President Goodluck Jonathan? Because the same set of people who back in 2012, right, hit the streets protesting against fuel subsidy are the ones who now see the need to remove fuel subsidy, and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot even wait, to remove it. He announced that immediately during his immediately after his swearing in yesterday. What's your thoughts on that? Do you share that sentiment as well?
Well, the issue was that removal of fuel subsidy, that campaign against Jonathan that was done in January 2012 was a political thing. It was not for the interest of Nigerians. It was not a fight about against the removal of fuel subsidy or whatever. It was a clear political fight against the incumbent that side. The Save Nigeria group and all those people that came together, the political parties, the civil society organizations. And we can say that we can manifest that after that in 2012, these 10 people had a coalition, and then in 2014 they formed a political party. And we found out from that 2014, after the inauguration in 2015 to today, we found out that the CSO, that civil society organizations that have to organize that anti-fuel subsidy removal campaign in the country went suddenly quiet, and they didn't say anything again, despite all the things that are, apart from Serap and maybe one or two others, nothing was being heard again from all those plethora of civil society organizations that have been there saying. So we can see that it was fairly political. Even the so-called Bring Back Our Girls and all those things, they all went quiet. And some of them got political appointments and all that. So we could see that it was a political movement rather than an altruistic movement. It was not an altruistic movement. It was not a movement for the people. The people were just fooled by those who know the meaning of what they were doing. So it was not a fight against subsidy removal in the true sense of it. It was just a ploy to remove the incident that which they succeeded in doing. So when you now come to the issue of subsidy itself, I have had so many outings on national TV, radio, advocating the point that, and I still stand on it, that it is criminal for a government to remove fuel subsidy if you don't have refining capacity at home. It is an injustice to the citizens of the country, and it is unfair to the system of the country, because every country, even the United States, the United States has a lot of subsidy on agriculture so that our farmers can compete internationally. China, the same thing, and many serious countries. Russia, the same thing, and every country. In fact, the World Trade Organization some years back, like 2 years ago, accused China and United States of over-subsidizing their farmers, so that to the extent that the farm produce from America and China were too cheap in international markets. That's because of the subsidy that they're giving to the farmers. So a lot of them, they subsidize a lot of other things. There's some countries subsidize housing, some subsidize health, subsidize a lot of things. Like in the UK, they subsidize education seriously for their citizens, and they make it up by charging foreign students a lot of money. So each country has its own system of subsidy. Nigeria, which is highly dependent on oil, cannot run away from subsidy. We pay through electricity, we pay through everything. So we live a life without subsidy. Even if the advanced nations are subsidizing, and they have been subsidizing that sometimes. Now, why did we even need to do subsidy in the petroleum industry in the first place? It's because of the inability of subsisting governments over the years to have refining capacity, local refining capacity. We are the only countries in OPEC, we are the only producing countries among the only producing countries in the world that we extract crude from our soil, from our land, take the crude outside the country, refine it, and bring it in. And that is good economics. And it cannot work. It is based on that because the government failed to have refining capacity. Government now said, okay, to cushion the effect of this international price that we are going to bring in the world, let's subsidize the products usage at home so that our citizens do not get to pay high international market price. That was how subsidy came. And because of lack of refining capacity, we couldn't make Port Harcourt refinery work, we couldn't make Warri refinery work, we couldn't make Kaduna refinery work. We couldn't. So the government said, because we failed, the citizens, it's the host on us then to subsidize so that you don't buy this in at an expensive rate. And that's where subsidy came in. The next thing that happened over the years, the people using it as a scam. They will declare that Nigeria consumes so liters of petroleum products every day.
Yeah. And
then calculate subsidy cost for each per liter of fuel. And we have millions of naira being treated away every month in the name of fuel subsidy. So it is a scam. The subsidies should be stopped.
Yeah.
And not the subsidy.
Okay.
There is a corruption in every sector in Nigeria. Why do you need to go and shut down the courts? Why do you need to shut down the education system? Why do you need to shut down the Nigerian police or shut down education sector because you found out that there's corruption there? So why is it easy for people to just speak up and say because there's corruption in subsidy, you want to cut it off? Nigerians deserve subsidy in the petroleum sector because we don't have the refining capacity. Unless they're going to tell us that the 20% in Dangote refinery that the Nigerian government invested is going to be part of the subsidy to make sure that Dangote sells it. But nobody can even support Dangote to sell at a particular price. It's capitalism. So we must make our refineries work. We must encourage modular refineries in every part of the country to bring down the corporate price. If you can't do that, you must do that before you remove subsidy. So that it work at removing the scam in the subsidy and not removing the subsidy itself.
All right, but Mr. Ambrose, are you looking at the arguments of the government for the removal? The government is saying that, take for instance, in 2021, from 2021 to 2022, the government spent from February 2021 to about June 2022, a period of I think 17 months. Government has spent over 2.8 trillion naira only on subsidy. Government is now saying that these funds will be rechanneled to fund better investment in public infrastructure, education, healthcare, and jobs that will materially improve the lives of millions of Nigeria. That's what government is saying. That's the argument of this administration.
Why is government not refining product locally? You cannot leave the cause of an illness and start splitting symptoms.
On refining, I'm not holding the brief of the government, but on refining, we can see that the turnaround maintenance going on at the Port Harcourt refinery and other refineries within Nigeria. Besides, the Dangote refinery is coming up in July, and government is saying that they have 20% stake in that refinery. Are these not ways where the government is looking towards to say, oh, okay, if we have subsidy?
I don't agree with the government policy. I don't agree with the government policy on that. You don't put the cart before the horse. The horse goes forward, then they squeeze the cart. You don't remove subsidy before putting those things in place.
All right.
You don't put the infrastructure. We are talking about a sector. We are talking about infrastructure. What of the infrastructure in the oil and gas sector? That's what we are talking about. We are allowing the project turnaround maintenance and the Port Harcourt refinery have been going on since Abacha's time, almost 30 years down the line. So who is fooling who? The Dangote refinery is a pure private enterprise. We have only 20% enterprise. We have only 20% in it, and we cannot dictate to Dangote how he sells his oil. It is a capitalist. So if the government wants to be serious about it, the infrastructure, they're telling us these are the stories that have been telling us since more than almost 30 years. Telling us the infrastructure and education and that. What of the infrastructure in the oil and gas sector? The refineries are not working. That's the first thing we should fix. The modular refineries, what are the bottlenecks that is making them not kick off?
All right.
So these are the things you need to fix and make sure that they are working first. When they are not working and meeting local capacity and local needs, then you can remove the subsidy. And then government banding, we have said the expenses and something 3 years. We have said go and audit that.
You think it could be more?
It could be less.
It could be less.
Far less.
Oh.
Far less. It should be far less.
All right, we'll see how that goes in coming days. What exactly the direction would be, because as a matter of fact, as regards to fuel subsidy, when you look at the speech which has been made public by the team of the president, there was nowhere in that speech that it says subsidy is gone. It felt like the president went off script for a moment to say subsidy is gone. He's done that during the campaigns where he said categorically whether you like it or not is going to go, and it looks like he's bent on that. But we'll see how that goes. Let's check out other part of this speech. It's categorized into security, the economy, jobs, agriculture, infrastructure, fuel subsidy, which we've touched, monetary policy, foreign policy, and there's this five basic principles that the president said will guide his administration. And he said, 1, Nigeria will be impartially governed according to the constitution and the rule of law. We shall defend the nation from terror and all forms of criminality that threaten the peace and stability of our country and our sub-region. We shall remodel our economy to bring about growth and development through job creation, food security, and an end of extreme poverty. In our administration, women and youth will feature prominently. Our government will continue to take proactive steps such as championing a credit culture to discourage corruption while strengthening the effectiveness and efficacy of the various anti-corruption agencies. That's how it is put in this speech. Let's begin with this impartiality that has been mentioned in this speech, that the administration will govern impartially according to the constitution and the rule of law. Is it something we should pay attention to, considering some of the things the Buhari administration was alleged to have done?
Well, the Buhari administration will go down in history as one of the most nepotic governments that Nigeria has ever seen.
By what standards?
There was a total regard. There was a total regard for federal character in appointments, in considerations of infrastructure, in so many things. For example, physical infrastructures like railway. Physical infrastructure like railway was being designed for this country, and a whole southeast, the southeast of Nigeria was removed from that architecture. But the same of the Buhari administration was constructing a rail line to Maradi in the Niger Republic. How do you reconcile that kind of policy or that kind of action? And then when you look at the heads of the security architecture in Nigeria, the heads of the security architecture all came from a section of the country. When we look at appointments in critical MDAs, ministry departments and agencies, all came from almost the same part of the country. So there was a total regard for federal character, even in the military. That never happened. There was a spread. So this government coming in now to speak that statement, I think they also know that what happened in the past 8 years. And they're like, okay, we will correct this. But I think that is what that declaration is talking about. So it is, we wait and see and wait out, because what happens normally is there are always flowery speeches at the beginning. It is when they walk the talk that we will not see if you are really keeping to what you are saying.
All right. So what will be walking the talk for you?
Walking the talk, for example, is to relax. I mean, not to implement this no subsidy thing for now. After all, Nigeria, we still have subsidy to June, provided in the budget. The government should do a supplementary budget to include subsidy, but should remove the scam with the subsidy and not remove the subsidy. Then the government should give itself like 2 years or so to ensure that the critical infrastructure in the oil and gas sector, especially in the downstream, is put in place. For example, every obstacle that is making regular refineries not work should be removed, and people should be encouraged with tax holidays and some other things to build regular refineries. If it is possible to still turn around refineries of Kaduna, Warri, and Port Harcourt, we should do it. If not, they should sell it to the private sector who can do. We had someone like Chief Kemi Otedela the other day, during the day of the Dangote commissioning of his Dangote's refinery, revealing that he and Aliko Dangote actually bought shares in both refineries when Obasanjo sold them. And you see the kind of loss that he showed. They would have turned around those refineries. That is why Dangote has to go and build a refinery from the scratch. You know, so somebody came and did a turnaround, came and removed that policy. And we are back to square one. It has not worked. We're going to work people in 2007. 2007 to now, we are talking about 15 years. And so we should not be doing things out of emotions. If we had allowed that sale of refinery to stand, by now perhaps the private sector would have turned around those refineries. Or as the best, you cannot keep companies running in the name of turnaround. That's part of the scam. That's part of the scam. The turnaround maintenances that have been happening for 30 years, and yet no barrel of no liter of fuel has dropped from this turnaround maintenance. So government should focus on ramping up local refining capacity. That is the first thing to do, because a lot of other progress in the economy depends on that. Then non-oil exports is something we should look at very carefully. Thank God the president in his speech has said that the disparity in the dollar naira exchange rate will be made uniform. That's another thing that is pulling down the economy and making us suffer a lot and increasing inflation in Nigeria. So these are the walking the talk. And then appointments. This is the season of appointments. In appointing people to critical infrastructure, because the president said that the government of national unity to unite the country. It should walk the talk by appointing people that have the national spread and not from just one geopolitical divide. So these are the things that they will start immediately to give people the sense of belonging, so that we can all collaborate and move the country forward.
We've been speaking with Ambrose Igboke. He's the Enugu State Chapter Chairman of the Guild of Public Affairs Analysts, and they're still very much on the line. But it's time to bring you into the conversation. It's time to take the mic. That's the segment, Take the Mic, where we literally hand you the mic and you get the chance to talk about this. What's your take from the inaugural speech of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? He said several things, covered several parts of the Nigerian life, from security to the economy, to jobs, to agriculture, to infrastructure, to monetary policy, foreign policy, and so much more. What do you think of that? Number to call to join the conversation is 0909 555 1039, and the time to do so is right now. Again, 0909 555 1039, or you call 0703 2277 338. Again, 0703 2277 338, and that also grants you access to the WhatsApp platform. Okay, so you can send in messages via those numbers, either to WhatsApp or you send regular SMS, just the way Michael from Lekki has done. Michael says, good morning to you, Kingsley, Felix, and the Analysts. I think the president's announcement of subsidy removal was not presidential. Okay, and has resulted in what we're witnessing in fueling stations. We have until the end of June before subsidy is fully removed, and the president didn't need to be that blunt in his language. He's president now and must learn that he has to speak cautiously. Yeah, that's Michael's thoughts. Michael is texting from Lekki. You can either send in a message like Michael, or you simply call in the lines. Would love to hear from you. You can also send in WhatsApp messages. We're streaming on Facebook. You can drop your comments there in the live Facebook broadcast as well. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning to you.
My name is Tayo from Lagos.
You're welcome, Tayo.
Yeah. In the area of subsidy, I just feel that it's too early to be announcing that, because from my own take, what I think that the president should have first done is to make the refinery running. Then there will be basis for removing the fuel subsidy. Because as you spoke yesterday, today the queue has started. He is not the one that will be suffering it. It is the masses that will be suffering it. But if you are going, why is the need for fuel subsidy in the first instance? It's because the refinery is not working. I think he should have fixed the refinery first, then he will now remove the fuel subsidy. That will have been understandable. Because as you want to remove the fuel subsidy now, whether scam or no scam, some people will be affected in the oil industry too. They are part of Nigeria, and they have bought fuel, and to go back to go and buy, if they didn't increase their own price, there's no way they can remain in the market. So we cannot try to salvage one aspect then and kill the other aspect. So for me personally, the first thing that the president should have done is to make at least one of the refinery working. You cannot rely on Dangote's refinery. It's an individual refinery. You cannot rely on it. He has power over his own price. And that if refinery is working, our own refinery is working, and they can process fuel there, petrol there, then we can remove the subsidy, and all of us will be accepted. But now it's adding more hardship to us.
All right, thank you so much for your contribution. Appreciate it. 0703-2277-338 or 0909-555-1039. Those are the numbers to call to join the conversation this morning. What do you make of this speech by the president yesterday? And there's been so much focus on fuel subsidy. Well, maybe it's the president's fault for going, off script for a moment. Maybe he should have stuck to his script, because there's the better way it was put in the script, right? Maybe we should even very quickly check out that part of the script. It says, well, and I'll quote directly, "We commend the decision of the outgoing administration in phasing out the petrol subsidy regime, which has increasingly favored the rich more than the poor. Subsidy can no longer justify its ever-increasing cost in the wake of drying resources. We shall instead rechannel the funds into better investment I'll take that again, pardon me. We shall instead rechannel the funds into better investment in public infrastructure, education, healthcare, and jobs that will materially improve the lives of millions." Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. This is Emmanuel calling from Aja.
You're welcome. What do you make of the president's speech?
I actually I totally agree with the last caller. You don't just come out and you make such announcements, knowing fully well that the police station, the transporters will just take advantage of it without thinking twice. You should have at least, even though it's one, at least, let's start with that. That policy, I don't know, it's not helping Nigeria. I know what I suffered this morning. It's not helping Nigeria at all. Thank you.
You want to quickly share your thoughts. Although in just a few minutes when we get to that segment, we'll talk about it. But since you're on the line now, what's your experience like this morning? What has it been?
I don't know about that. I don't stand up to 1 minute before getting transport to where I'm going. But today I stand more than 30 minutes. More than 30 minutes. And as I was coming, I saw a lot of crowd. There was a lot of crowd outside. There was no transport anywhere. No police station is selling. Even those ones that are not selling, there's queue everywhere. They are not selling, but here there's queue.
But did you pay more to get to your destination?
Of course I did.
By what percentage was it?
Shop is, From my house to my shop is normally 150.
Yeah.
But I paid 300 this morning. 300.
That's double.
Of course.
I'm so sorry about your experience, and thank you for calling to share.
Thank you.
Appreciate your thoughts. Okay, there you go. 0703-2277-338 and 0909-555-1039. It feels like the experience is biting hard already on Nigerians. This pronouncement, one singular pronouncement by the president to say fuel subsidy is gone. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, welcome.
Yeah, good morning, Counsel, Felix and Bassey.
Yeah,
my name is Joel.
All right, go on, Joel.
Yes, based on the issue, first of all, I want to start by congratulating. The team is reflecting. Hello?
I hear you.
I want to start by congratulating the president at least. But it's one thing to read, because he has already read what they wrote for him. The next thing is to do according to what he promised us. That is how the former president comes. Promise us this, he read, at the end, this is what we see. In that yesterday, okay, is that how you will stop the subsidy? By reading it, because it will cost us. You need those people, those area corporation, those people that are in charge. Have a meeting with them, discuss before you made an announcement. Well, you just say, because the thing is affecting us, it's affecting the country.
Joel, do you think we're being unfair on the president to say that he should do that first? For example, you just mentioned that he should have a meeting. Don't you think that the president has a plan in place to do all of these things?
Even if you have a plan, yes, you have a plan. It's not when you are inaugurating, you start to be announcing it. To announce it, I don't mean you announce it. You just read the headline. It's different. But this one, you say that one is gone. So what do you expect the people to do? The next thing is to shut down their police station, because it should have meet the people first. He should have said, we will look into the fuel subsidy.
The president was in Paris recently. Just a week or so before his swearing in yesterday, and they said, according to his team, he met with some people. We're not sure if that was part of what the president met for.
Yes, you meet with some people when they have not handed over power to him. Now he's in charge.
All right,
he should have not announced it like.
So the timing is a problem.
Yes, you should have meet the people first, have a discussion. You have a discussion.
All right,
then settle everything now before you come out to announce, so that they will know that okay, the budget that was budgeting for the subsidy. How are we sure that they are going to make use of that, but they will not share it?
All right. Joel, let's take some more calls. Thank you so much for your contribution. I appreciate it. Hello there. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Hi. Good morning. Thank you for staying on the line. You're welcome. Talk to us.
On the oil subsidy, because that's the main thing that everybody will talk about. My stake is this. See, we want freedom. We have forgotten that freedom can never be free. You see, the custom general has hinted Nigerians that about 2,000 trailers of oil are being transported on a daily basis. 2,000 times 33,000 liters is about 66 million oil subsidy, on oil subsidy. Me personally, and I remember I have forgotten the figure. They said, NNPC said that we are consuming X amount of oil every day, which an average Nigerian found it difficult to believe. So it means that somebody somewhere is benefiting from this subsidy, and not the Nigerians directly per se, as we think.
But the question is, the issue is, if somebody is benefiting somewhere and there is a government, don't you think the government should have gone after these people rather than putting the people who are not benefiting in more suffering?
You see, I don't know if you listened 20 yesterday. There are so many factors and so many interests at stake.
So are you saying that some people are untouchable in this country? Is that what you're saying?
If you don't close your eyes and do what you want to do, you may not be able to do it. Do you understand? It's not every time that a man has to be reasonable. At times you behave like a madman.
At the detriment of the citizens and just few
not
people.
Not at the detriment of the citizens. Do you understand? There are some things. That's all about governance or leadership. Painstaking. You see, we will suffer for it, yes. But at the end of the day, I want to assure Nigerians that we are all going to smile. Because some people now, that their homes will be dry because of this subsidy.
All right, Sunday. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate your thoughts on the program. You can keep them coming, though we need to wrap this segment. But we're going into the next segment, which is, essentially about you as well. And it's about this fuel queues, which has resurfaced in Nigeria. Well, in Lagos and in Abuja, essentially, at the moment. We cannot confirm what other states, at least as we speak right now, this fuel queues have resurfaced. But in Lagos and Abuja, confirmed the queues have resurfaced. And you've heard from the caller before the last one who said he had to pay double to get to his destination this morning. But before we get to that, very quickly, Ambrose Igboke, you want to say your final thoughts as we wrap up on the president's speech on jobs, right? The president, which is something we need to take note of, right? The president did say that his administration will create meaningful opportunities for the youth in the country. He said he shall honor his campaign commitment of 1 million new jobs in the digital economy. Well, you would recall that the former president Muhammadu Buhari also made several promises as regards job creation and the ease of doing business. Some agree that, well, he did achieve something or a few as regards the ease of doing business. Others maybe have several other opinions. But the president, Bola Tinubu, also said he would work with the National Assembly to fashion an omnibus jobs and prosperity bill. Jobs and prosperity bill, something you probably should be looking out for soon. And he said this bill will give his administration the policy space to embark on labor-intensive infrastructural improvement, encouraging light industry, and provide improved social services for the poor, the elderly, and vulnerable. Let's close on this note. Ambrose, are you there? All right. Ambrose, are you there? Yeah, we can hear you now clearly.
Okay, I don't like the sound of that proposed bill, something like prosperity and all
jobs and prosperity bill.
It sounds like something that is being prophesied by some people in the same ground. We should be more serious about the technical languages we use, just like a state governor creating a commissioner for enjoyment and
happiness,
something like that, and happiness. These are not concrete. What we expect the president to do right now is to do the kind of things he did in Lagos. Set up technocrats, have economic think tank team that will fashion out policies that will work. He did it in Lagos, so he didn't have a prosperity anything in Lagos. Yet Lagos created so many jobs so far. So we shouldn't be using all those kind of political language. Politics is over, elections are over. Let's get down to the work of business, the business of governance.
Why is the title of the
business of governance? Because it's not of something that is not grounded. By now, what we be expecting the president to do to set up that, look, I have a committee on this, I have a technical committee of this and this, that within the next 2 weeks, they'll give us fashion out modalities for us. Or if he has done that, he had between February till now to have done a lot according to that. February, March, April, May, that is 3 months. So if he has done something like that before the inauguration, let's start seeing the policy.
It's just day one, Ambrose. It's just day one.
It's not day one. He had 3 months.
Well, he was president-elect then. It's just day one as president.
If you have exams to write on a particular day, you don't start president on that. That day is when you finish the exam. Planning for countries that are serious, a lot of planning have been done under these 3 months. Now they all have the plan. So planning has been supposed to have been finished by now. You're supposed to have a cabinet list. You're supposed to. That is why you have that 3 months or 4 months. That is why you have all those time. So now we are supposed to be hearing economic policies.
Yes.
So after that, so that you can start having concrete things like Obasanjo had needs. Something like economic strategy. Because that's having because the last 8 years we are just making pronouncements. Giving sustainability policies to Nigeria, giving going to the markets to do shopping, going around giving everything, going around.
Oh dear. Okay. Unfortunately, we lost connections with Ambrose Igboke. Maybe that's a fine place to leave things to. Ambrose is the Enugu State Chapter Chairman of the Guild of Public Affairs Analysts. We want to especially thank him for being a part of the discourse here this morning on the Low FM Morning Show. Let's now switch gears to the Industry Hub segment where we'll be talking about energy in Nigeria. And this part